basic communication in a professional environment is much more complex than it appears on the surface. I mean, at its most basic, we have the sender of information, we have some kind of channel through which the information has to go, and we have a receiver of information. And all of this happens in the context of noise, both noise in the environment, but also psychological noise. It's very difficult to know, for the sender to know, that the information that has been received is the information intended. And the only way to do that, to make sure that, is to complete a feedback loop. And this is what airline pilots do when they say back to air traffic controllers the instructions they've been given. The controller now knows that the information that they sent was the information received by the pilot. Now, if we apply that to professional communication, there are really two aspects I think that are important. One is how we elicit information from patients, and the second is how we give information to patients. And in both of those, we'll come to each of them separately, in both of them, it's not just about the words, it's also about non-verbal communication. Psychologists estimate that about 70% of the emotional content of a message is transmitted non-verbally. So that means that a professional needs to be very aware both of their own non-verbal communication and also be very sensitive to the non-verbal cues that patients or clients will be sending. If we come to the listening or the eliciting information, that part of communication, that often is very difficult because often a person is thinking about what they're going to say next in a conversation rather than fully listening to what the other person is saying. Psychologists again estimate that we can speak at about 80 to 100 words a minute, but we can process information at about 600 to 800 words a minute, which means that we have a lot of spare capacity when we're listening. And often that spare capacity isn't being used for listening. So I think the message here is that you must intend to listen to patients or clients and really listen to what's being said, to what's not being said, and to pick up the cues that mightn't be so obvious. When it comes to sending or giving information, there are a number of principles that operate here as well. There's some good research to show that you can significantly increase the amount that patients understand, how much they remember, and what their level of satisfaction is with communication by paying attention to a couple of simple rules. The first is that the information should be as simple as possible. No complexities, no jargon, no words that the person can't understand. That's the first thing. The second thing is that the important information should be stressed. And if the important information is repeated again at the end of the interaction, patients are much more likely to understand it and remember it. The third variable would be that patients should be given an opportunity to ask questions about anything that they don't understand, and that should be strongly reinforced. And in that way, the pharmacist has the opportunity to check that the person has understood what they have said in the way that they intended it to be understood. Now, research shows that by just doing those simple things, you can significantly improve communication from the patient's point of view.